I did.
Okay. So in their case, you can see it's a high DNS lookup time that when you hover over this. And you can compare that. So this is DNS for the past 24 hours. If you suspect it's something that, you know, was started for a reason, you can go back in time and look and see, okay, it looks for this particular case, it's always been a high DNS lookup time. And if I zoom into the last hour, I can also see, okay, it's been it was good between 8:35 and whatever that window of time is. Which is interesting because you would think, during the day is when it would be worse, right? So that's just a couple different ways to view. You can start, sometimes you can see a pattern. Every day at 8:30 it spikes up, or every day at,
Mm-hmm.
whatever time it spikes up, to start to kind of formulate why it's spiking. The other thing you can do is compare here. This is the two servers, and see one's always like kind of all over the place, and then this one's pretty much just sort of, hovering the same, although they both had a spike at the same time. So that's just a couple ways to start to look at it, specifically to DNS. And now I can also look at this high DNS period that was not continual, but it was at certain spikes, was related to, I don't know how many sensors are on this account. How many sensors does he
Looks like
have?
there's just one.
Oh, so that's why it's all related to one. If there's multiple sensors, then, is it always the same sensor? Is it always the same location? Start to build that. Is it always the same network? You can build that out. So that's ways to look at DNS specifically. So in this case, since it's a warning, it's not a I've exceeded the threshold. It's I'm approaching it, right? It's yellow, not red. You can go and look at the settings. So there's the thresholds within settings. There's the thresholds, and by default, um, these are the settings that are in play. And it doesn't look. It looks like, these are editable. So if this number is in with reason, and I have some metrics I can send over. Like I did it for higher ed. I don't think I did it for K-12, but I pulled the average for um, all of our customers to kind of estimate what the average was. That was from response time. So, because some people go, well, I don't know what's good, what's bad. I don't know. So I could say, well, here's what's good, what's bad for everybody else. I don't know where you fit in that category, but you know, you can adjust these. So you just click on that and adjust it. Or I guess you click on the pencil. Um, so that's something also to consider, that maybe this, 50 milliseconds is too low of a number for you. And is that acceptable? Does that introduce problems? That kind of
Okay.
stuff. Um, not the last, but a third thing you could do is start to look. This is a sensor. So this is all the test results of that sensor for everything that sensor's doing. And same thing, you can go back in time and look, over 7 days, 30 days. And that DNS is pretty consistent, consistently in a warning state, and if that's okay, if this threshold is okay, then, adjust the threshold within the system so that it stops warning them. But
Mm-hmm.
another thing you can do is, if I'm hovering over, you can see when I hover over the status bar here, like let's say in this red zone, when it's red here between 6 and 7 on a Saturday, which is odd, you know, why would there be a problem on Saturday when nobody's there? Unless somebody was there. Um, I could lock in and say, okay, here's the Wi-Fi signal that the sensor was getting at the time. Here's the channel utilization, all of this to start to frame up the story of, what else was happening when I had this spike of a bad DNS response time? And it doesn't look like much was happening. It just, everything is kind of flatlined. Other than these gets seem to also have spikes, which is probably related. So that's I don't see anything killer going, which tells me this is the normal behavior. This is what the response time is for them. But now they know. Okay, I kind of have a skewed DNS response as to what, according to the, expected average response time in my environment, it's high. So when I go to roll out a new application to the network or add something to the network, is it going to impact that and put that DNS response time in a range where it has an impact on people? Maybe it's impacting them today, maybe it's not, but those are the types of things to consider. It looks like it's only testing. This is something else to kind of look at in that from a channel play. Everything's kind of in sync. They're only testing. You can sort this by channel. You can also lock to a specific BSSID. You could look at the channel plans and see if there's anything here I don't think anything here would be. It's all connected at the same. Yeah, I would say if this is, it's kind of a conversation to have. If this average DNS time isn't impacting people, then adjust your threshold to say, and then know that that's what we're coming up with. Yeah. So he's right in there.
You're adjusting it for him right now, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm just.
You're not.
This is what the response times are.
Oh, this is the recording. Now,
Yeah.
Is there a way for him to export any of these reports?
Couple ways. Okay. So let me get into this setting, and he's ended 2 months.
And he did get back to me, and he said he has another meeting starting at 10. So this is good.
Okay.
So this, hopefully this is productive for him, and then we can schedule something after the new year if he still has questions.
Sure.
Thank you, Bonnie.
And his subscription did expire, so we need to kind of fix that. Just FYI.
Is that something you can help me with?
Yeah, he just ordered. All he does, let's see, I'll show you the stuff. All he does is order the new, or you quote him, the new cellular subscription. Yeah, cellular. I think he's.
So he gets a certain amount of time for a demo, so he would have to purchase a subscription at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Was this a demo? I don't know what kind of account.
It was a demo, and I don't think that he was, given any of the instructions and things.
Okay.
So if there is a way to extend his demo, I don't know if that's an option. He would love that. Yeah. Especially now that you're providing this helpful information.
Yeah. Let me. I'll go in and do that.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So he can do reports. He can create a report, and these are done by user, so I can't create it for him. But just create a report that, select the network. I got to give it all the names and stuff, but he doesn't have any groups, so just select the network that you want to report it on, and that'll give you, if you had this triggered, he could schedule it to come out every Monday or, once a week or every other day or whatever he wants to do, to start to see visually what that looks like. How is this trending up back in time, and compared to network changes I'm making. If that DNS is genuinely an issue, and let's say they look at that server and they make some sort of modification to improve it, the behavior of it, or the performance of the whole DORA process, you'd want to start to measure that, right?
Yeah, of
Am I,
course.
so that's one thing. You can just from an informational, you can trigger this report to come out. Additionally, you can do webhooks. So you can add notifications to like Slack. So you can do Slack for free, ServiceNow, or just some generic. If you have like a ticketing system or
So their student information system, right?
if that's what they use to create issues or like notifications of issues, then yeah, yeah. Um, or you could stream the data to something. And I don't know why. I'd have Splunk is another option. I guess I have to
Mm.
enable it. But they could stream all the test results out to something. Generic endpoint would be easy. It's easy, but it's hard because it doesn't have any pre-canned reports. But like, people will send the data to BigQuery because they are using S3 for other data points within the business,
Okay.
to grab, I don't know, they're trending something. And then you put that in, pull that data into your report, and you could trend that as well. So I could start to see this on a graph, and I don't have any visuals of what that looks like. Actually, if I do data push, if you go into the help articles, this is the help.cape networks, you go data push, you will have, for example, um, um,
And that help.capenetworks.com is just very useful for so many things. It's a search
yeah.
engine. And
Mm-hmm.
so and it's specific to UXI. So that's
Right.
awesome.
Right. And you can get it to it by typing this in. You can also get to it down here on this chat
Okay.
button
Okay,
here
great.
and from the top right. So, but you can see here, let's see, this is the schema. I'm just trying to get a screenshot. Um, I don't have a screenshot of like in a sample. Let's see, Elastic. And this is where I'll send you the videos. I think Mandar has made some and they're out on Yammer and Airheads and stuff like that.
Okay.
Here's a short demo data pushed with Elasticsearch. So this,
Awesome.
yeah, so here's a demo. I won't stop it, but it'll show you what it would look like. Some examples. Elasticsearch is pretty popular amongst the enterprise because
Okay.
it has a lot of pre-canned reports. So yeah,
Bonnie,
so
thank you so much. This is
wasn't a
wonderful.
wasn't a straight answer, but kind of some direction.
No, I think it's exactly what we need. I'm going to use this for others if you don't mind as well.
Sure,
So that
sure.
that might have been the video that we needed because that's the most common question that I receive, and it's always related to the DNS server in
Yeah,
like 9 times out of 10, and then we can just answer additional questions from that point.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. Yeah. No, that's
Well,
cool.
thank you. Happy
No
holidays
problem.
to you, and
You
thank you
too.
for your time today.
Yeah. Have fun.
All right, you too. Okay,
Okay.
talk to you soon. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.